May I now request Dr. Karan Singh to begin his address.
My dear friend Soli Swarabji, whom we not only share a birthday, but we have shared a lot of good moments over the last decades. Shri Karan Singh, the publisher and the organizer of the function, and friends. It is exactly 50 years ago that my father passed away. He passed away in 1961. Half a century later, there has been a real attempt to, as it were, vindicate his position. A lot of what Harbans Singh has written has been taken, in fact, from my autobiography and from the fact that I did publish in my letters with Jawaharlal Nehru, our correspondence, I published the memorandum that my father had submitted. That had not been published so far. But in fairness to him, I thought it was necessary to publish that memorandum, which puts forward the only time that he has put forward his point of view, his difficulties, and his grievances. I would like to just say that even before the history of the accession, to understand Jammu and Kashmir, you must go back to the founding of the Jammu and Kashmir state. Then it was the expansion that Harbans Singh has mentioned, unprecedented. There's a general sitting here. The trans-Himalayan campaigns fought by General Zorawar Singh in Ladakh and General Baj Singh in Gilgit are unprecedented in human history. I don't think anywhere else at that level, at that height, at that elevation, such battles have been fought, and fought by the Dogras, who were from the foothills of Jammu and Kangra. There was no oxygen, there were no helicopters, there was nothing. They went on foot or on yaks or on horses or whatever they could get, and they were able to conquer huge territories of land. They were the only ones who expanded the frontiers of India. There have been other great Rajas, there's Maharaja Pratap and there's Chhatrapati and everybody. Most of those fought within India. But it was our ancestors alone that expanded the Maharaja Ranjit Singh first, because he reached Kabul, and after that Maharaja Gulab Singh, who expanded the frontiers. So this composite state was built up. Then the Treaty of Amritsar in 1846, which gave him the right over Kashmir, but not actual possession. Possession still had to be fought for. So first of all, we must understand how this state was built up. Multiracial, multilinguistic, multicultural state. Because many people, as you know, Zoli, just talk of Kashmir. When they say, what do you think, what is the Kashmir issue? I say, there's no Kashmir issue, there's no state as such as Kashmir. The state is the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu, Kashmir, Tibet, Tahadipati. That was my father's title. Tibet meaning thereby Ladakh. So, to talk of Kashmir as Delhi has done for most of its 60 years, now they are beginning, I think, to realize. To talk only of Kashmir and to forget the multicultural nature of Jammu and Kashmir state was the first major mistake that we made. And once Dogra rule was removed, the glue that held the state together disappeared. For all his trying, Sheikh Abdullah was never able to replace the Dogra dynasty with the Kashmiri dynasty, although that dynasty is still also, by God's grace, flourishing. We have a young chief minister now there from that dynasty, and Harbans Singh has given his own commentary, his interpretation. But there are 2 or 3 things that he's done which are very valuable. The first is he has pointed out the multiple nature of the state, including the feudatories, of which people don't even know in India. If you asked where are Hunza and Nagar and Gilgit, they have no idea where they are. They have no comprehension of that. Secondly, he's mentioned the valor of the state forces. The J&K state forces, which are now the Jack Regiment in the Indian Army, were the forces that created this state under great generals like Zorawar Singh and Baj Singh and Mehta Basti Ram. And all the way down, it was a mixed force. There were Muslims from Poonch and Rajouri area there. There were Sikhs, there were Gorkhas, and there were Dogras. And those forces, how they held out, and how Brigadier Rajendra Singh, when my father said to him, fight till the last man and the last bullet, I was sitting in the room when he came in, and he said to that, and he saluted my father and smiled at me and went out. So I have been witness to history. It's a tragedy. We were talking earlier of Greek tragedy. Who was it here who's an expert on Greek tragedy? You are the expert of Greek tragedy. This whole, my father's story developed like a Greek tragedy. A young man full of idealism, full of a desire. When he became Maharaja in 1925 solely, his statement was, my religion is justice. And he tried all his life to try and do justice to people. But it unfolded like a Greek tragedy. He was overtaken by events. Historical events moved in such a way that he was neither Jinnah, nor Gandhi, nor Jawaharlal Nehru, nor Sheikh Abdullah, nor any of the British. Nobody came to his aid because he wasn't able to open himself up to them. Had he done so, one of the great has-beens of history, had Maharaja Hari Singh and Sheikh Abdullah's letter, which I reproduced, is produced here in this, where he wrote to my father. It's the most astounding letter. If I had time, I would have read it out, but I don't want to take too much of your time. Sheikh Abdullah wrote a letter to my father. I'll just read one bit of it. I don't know which is my copy. I can't find it, it's got mixed up now. In which he said that despite everything that has happened, I am still a loyal subject and I'll be very happy to work with you and all. Unfortunately, that didn't work. If Sheikh Abdullah and Maharaja Hari Singh had been able to come to an agreement, the whole history of the subcontinent would have been different. I remember when I accepted to become Sadr-e Riyasat after he was exiled, the people of Jammu were furious. When I landed in Jammu, there was a sea of black flags from the airport to my house. My own people, the Dogras. And yet a year later, after I dismissed Sheikh Abdullah, then the same people came and said, हाँ नहीं जी आपने बड़ा अच्छा किया, आपने बड़ा अच्छा किया जो मान लिया. Because I was aware of the historical circumstances. I knew that if I had not taken it at that time, हमारा नाम और निशान वहाँ से खत्म हो जाना था. Although I did it at the risk of angering my father. He wasn't happy that I accepted the Sadr-e Riyasat. I followed Jawaharlal Nehru rather than Maharaja Hari Singh at that time. Rightly or wrongly, I think rightly. My father was in another generation. He was not able to do it. He maintained a dignified silence. One public statement by him could have deeply embarrassed the government of India. He never said a word. He passed away in Bombay 50 years ago. And today is the Pitri Paksha. He was born in the Pitri Paksha. And I would like to dedicate this book to him.